Weekend, Fridays at 6:30 EST, with your hosts Michael Seville and Joel Simmons. A channel whose focus is liberty. A place where the lessons discussed and taught will create openings to a more open and freer mindset. A mindset where you may reach the height of your potential and excel. Here are your hosts, Mike and Joel.
Last time.
Here we are. Here we are.
We're going.
Listen, one point we coming back. Guys, go check out these episodes. We know we cutting it up. Shouts out to Kathy. We know we cutting it up. Hey, there's the star.
You're live. That's live.
There's the star.
Almost live. She'll never show up in nothing. Look at that. Y'all got a treat. All right.
1.8.
Oh, because of Mike. I asked her to come in all the time, but Mike here, Mike's like, oh, hey, Kathy. And all of a sudden, she want to come and get all up in the screen. Gee whiz. Don't come for me, come for Mike, huh? All right.
I'm glad that she blessed our presence, guys. He hating right now. The brother's hating that his wife stole all of the screen. Her star power took over. We could just shut Joe's screen off at this point because we got to come from that side. Guys, we're talking about the thought processes that we have, and I'm gonna tell you what. Okay, so last week we spoke about the different things that are milking away from wealth, right? From riches, from your money. Some of the things that you could do. One of the things that I know you don't want to do, but might be one of the best moves for a lot of us, is to move back in with your parents, or have your parents moving with you, or moving with other family members. Because we got to figure out a way to get ahead, right? And while you're there, to now you can really focus on improving your skill set. You want to improve your skill set to make more money. 3 things that help improve your skill set: your knowledge, right? And one thing that most people don't have is when they find something that they're passionate about, they have no problem gaining that knowledge. The second thing you want to do is you want to improve your communication ability. The brothers putting on a program at Rivera Beach is talking about communication. It's very, very important no matter what you're doing. You can't imagine we call it sales training, but it's really communication training. And the doors that it's opened up for me just from learning how to ask the questions. And you know what the most thing was? How to be quiet. Those things have helped me out dramatically over the past year and a half. Number 3 is your processes. Then you want to figure out what your processes are depending on whatever it is. But those are the 3 things you want to improve upon. It takes a lot of pressure off of you if you're not working 12, 16, 18, 20 hours just to stay on even kilt, because you're not really going to have the time, or even your brain's not going to be functioning correctly. Like a lot of us are suffering from sleep deprivation because we're always on the go. We're always moving, and then you have to blow off steam, whatever that is. So now you're binge watching Netflix, you're going out, you're doing all these other different things when that time technically should be sacrificed for getting better, being able to make more money, learning about keeping money. How about that? Because we just saw last week, we $1.8 trillion. So it's not, and we're only 12 to 14% of the population spending $1.8 trillion. Quickly, brother.
Yeah.
I named 2 football players. I'm going to name, and shouts out, I love you guys, but I'm not even going to name them because I don't want to put them out there like that. These guys made in excess of $100 million over their career.
Preservation of wealth. Come on.
Over $100 million in the course of their career. And they were there 10, 15 years ago. Now these players are getting even more money. I mean, you got bench warmers in basketball making more than Michael Jordan made in the 90s. So some of these old timers is mad as what? Like, what? Yo, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. This guy doesn't even get in the game, and he's making more money, right? These have been played for the past 20, 30 years. What has it done for the community at large? I don't want to put it all on athletes, but I don't want you guys to idolize and put it on athletes either.
Yeah.
But if you can't preserve the wealth, what's the sense of it? If you, especially football players, you all are killing your bodies and the money's not there. Like, what's the sense of it? And then when you go back home, think about Belgrade. As many athletes came out, or you think it would have made a dent in what was going on in that community?
Right.
Like you would think, like, I mean, even raise it some kind of level. And once again, I'm not putting it on the football players because they're doing what they're supposed to and they get paid a great amount for it. But for the community at large, it's time for an about face on what it is that we value. Right? Like what is it that we value for the community at large? And this is just a conversation that we're having in order so that we can get better. Right? This is just so we can start to raise our level and our vibration, because we can't still be looking at these guys that do some of the, I mean, once again, entertainment, I love it, but what about the teachers?
Right.
Why, getting paid more, and even if you don't get paid more, just upping the level of what it is that you're doing. I heard somebody say, what if it was different when you wanted to send your kids into some of these schools that we have? Because we have some very talented teachers. And teachers, I love you. I know the system is beating you up, but we still got to maintain a certain kind of level of what would you call it? Just a level of a standard. How about that? We need to have a higher standard than what we're operating at as now. But it's this thought process of all is lost. We go ahead, brother, because I seen you about to jump. I don't want to monopolize.
No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. I mean,
yeah.
I'm with you. I'm just thinking about these things that you're saying. This is a lot that you're talking about, and these are not the crazy part about it, Mike, is like this is not the conversation that's not being had.
Right.
Like people are talking about teachers, people are talking about the athletes, we're talking about the entertainment industry, you know what I mean? And where people are going, they're becoming very affluent and they're becoming very wealthy. We're also talking about preservation of wealth and more power to the athletes that are now able to actually retire and have money in their bank accounts, because we went through a certain period of time when, you went in, they gave you a car and a chain and a ring, and they gave you a credit card, and they told you how much money you're going to get, and then you blew out your knee, ACL damage, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, you're unfixable at a certain point, and then you exit, and it's like, where my money at? They're like, oh, well, you spent this, you spent this. I love the way Will Smith talked about it. How he went into debt, $1 million. You know what I mean? Parents just don't understand. Him and DJ Jazzy Jeff, all the way back in the 90s, millionaires. Fresh Prince, millionaire. And he walking up buying a house, and the next thing you know, boosh. It's all gone. Everything is gone. And y'all can just read that in his book. But so, this has happened to so many different people. Look at Will Smith now. He was able to recover. But here's the thing, and it's like you were talking about financial literacy a couple of episodes ago or whatever. But here's the thing, it's like preservation of wealth. How many people inside of every family know how to keep what they have? Warren Buffett says it's not about how much you make. I can make a lot of money because I know how to work. Mike knows how to work. If you go back through the episodes, you can see him joking around, just talking about how much work we've done. Done a lot of work, put in a lot of hours, a lot more than 80 hours a week. Sometimes I look at people and they're putting in the minimum and they're only getting the minimum out of it. And they're like, why is this not working? I'm like, you ain't working. That's why. You're doing minimum mediocre work. That's why, But here's the trick. Here's the thing. It's like there was a saying that was like, don't just work smarter, not harder. But that's not the kicker. Work harder and smarter. That's the kicker. That's where it's at. And so going from what a black man may have felt like and how we got to here to what a young person now feels like, and how they're going to get to there, and then throwing all of that in between, you know, where you have white guys who feel that it's necessary to say, I love my black people. I love you too. I appreciate that. You know, Black Lives Matter came down. One of my dear friends, he called me up on the telephone. He said, Joe, I don't know what's going on with this Black Lives Matter thing. I got no clue. They going this way, they going that way. I just want you to know one thing. Your life matters to me.
Absolutely.
I'm good. I'm good.
You know, listen, to that point, brother, the fact that he called you up on an individual basis, that's we get a lot of these messages get convoluted through the internet. My mentor called me and said, Mike, let's have a conversation. That's what it has to get back to. It has to get back to that, especially amongst men.
Not social media, Mike. Don't be blasting me out on social media. Oh, Black Lives Matter. Oh, and you on social media, you ain't talking to nobody but a screen.
If you feel some sort of way or some kind of resistance because social media allows you to feel that way, call up somebody, man. Call somebody. I want to get to that point too, because it starts with, I'm talking for the men. It starts with the men, because you definitely, I don't, whatever it seems as if it is, don't make it be that way. Whatever the narrative seems is what it is, don't make it be that way. And sometimes you have to take your time out to educate some folk. But then here's what the next thought process was, because I know we spoke about a lot of stuff over these last couple of episodes. It's heavy, but you need to understand what's going on. You want me to make it extra easy on you, or on us rather? Is that charity starts at home. You have to, before you worry about what Jimbo Johnson is saying on social media, or Jack is doing, or what's going on this show, or what CNN or Fox is putting out, you need to go home and figure that part out. Really start from within yourself. Because once you start operating on a different level, the world starts to change. So if I start within myself, and I'm working on that, people can't help but be affected by it. Because if it's one constant in life, is that it's going to have its ups and its downs. Things just happen. It's life, right? But you have to start. So you start there. Then you start at home. I'm talking to my sons. I'm talking to my your spouses. You're talking to your mother. You're talking to your father. Brad, man, we got to heal our father. I'm going to say that ourselves with our fathers. I'm going to say that 1,000 times if I say it once. So start in your home. Then you go to your neighbor and you start something. Because you could start a book club in your neighborhood and say, this is what we on. And if one person come by, that's a beautiful thing, because that's exactly how it starts. And then be okay with, this may not go down in my lifetime, as far as the world is as a whole, but around here, I'm touching everything. If you're coming into contact with me, your light shines. I'm telling you, when I walked into 2 weeks ago, when I saw the brother, I hadn't seen the brother in person in a long time. When we saw each other, you couldn't do nothing but give an embrace, because that's just love between brothers. It's just like, and don't even want to let him go. You know what I mean? That's what we need to be espousing. And people, and we're not, I know we meet at the level, meaning want to have that conversation, but we don't intend on staying there. Right? We're meeting on a level, but as long as we rising together, and that's just how it goes. But it's just that love that we have to start having for each other. And when they see that, I don't care what Willie Lynch and all of them was talking about. When that love is coming through that building, when you see brothers from each side of the building looking at each other with care and love, and brother, I feel like I ain't seen you in years. Right? When that happens, it affects everything. I'm telling you. Go ahead, brother.
And that's the way it felt. And that's the way it was reciprocated, and that's the thing about it, man. It's like, at the end of the day, it's about, what are we gaining? What are we gaining?
Yeah.
that's the end of it. Anna was, I'd love for her to kind of jump in because she has a perspective in reference to how Filipinos feel in the same type of scenario. And this is a third world country, doesn't have the same type of provisions, and I just loved it. Definitely shout out to her and to all of our people, that are in the Philippines. I love y'all very much. Appreciate you, Jomer Jazz, Joanna, and and of course Anna, and as well as many others, Harrison. But listen, the thing is that it's all about, when you said it, meet on that level, it's all about that love. That's how you see through the Willie Lynch. That's how you see through whether you black, white, yellow, brown. It doesn't matter anymore. That's how you see. It doesn't matter about the age when it comes down to it. It's like, hey, listen, I'm 22. Hey, listen, I'm 80. Shut up. You need to listen to me. Shut up. I'm strong. We should be working more together than we should be apart. And I think you mentioned that, brother, because you talked about the division. The Willie Lynch letter was a divisive way of dividing a people who are in still some way divided. And the hard part about that is that sometimes as black people, we may not even understand the division. We just continue it.
Yeah.
I've told this story before, but I'll say it again. It's one that I heard. It's not my own, but there was a lady who would always get this big old pan. I think that Anna may have shared this story with me. As a matter of fact, shared with me and Mike, and get this big old pan, and they put the meatloaf. They'd take the meatloaf, make a large loaf, and they cut off the ends. And then they put the small piece on this large pan, put it in the oven. And one day, one of the kids came up and said, hey, or somebody came and said, hey, why do you do that? And the mama said, I don't know. My grandmama did it. And so they were like, well, let's find out. Ring, ring. Hey, grandmama. Hey, baby. How you doing? Said, oh, grandma, we're doing fine. We're about to sit down and eat some meatloaf. And I was asking Mom why she cuts the sides off, because she teach me how to cook the meatloaf. And grandmama says, baby, I don't even really know why I do that. That's something that my mama used to do. But she's still with us. Why don't we check in on her? She's in the other room. So they go to the other room and they find great grandmama. They got 4 generations here now, and the youngest generation asking the question and say, grandmama, hey, why do you cut the ends off of the side of the meatloaf? And she leaned back and she said, huh? The meatloaf? Cut the ends off? But baby, it's because the pan was so small. I couldn't fit no more in it. And it's like, we find ourselves doing something, not knowing why we do it, but when it was done in the very beginning, there was a specific reason. And maybe that reason doesn't serve us anymore.
Absolutely.
We need to research. The brother said it. We need to educate ourselves. We should not be ignorant. And the Bible teaches us, Paul said, I will not have you ignorant, brethren. We should not be ignorant. Ignorant does not mean that we are stupid. Doesn't mean that someone's stupid. It is the lack of knowledge. It's not stupidity. It's the lack of knowledge. And there's an easy cure to the lack of knowledge. Go study.
Well said, brother. Well said. Guys, this has been an awesome month. I know we got into it this month. Conversations that need to be had anyways, man. If I can leave anything, if we can leave anything with you guys, is exactly what the brother just said. It's exactly what the brother just said. My people shall perish. No, that's for lack of vision. But knowledge. Go on out and get you some knowledge, and it's free. Go on over to the community speaks. If you all can throw that a flyer up, if we still have it, and of what's going on in the community, learn about communication, learn about knowledge. Let's figure out what's the next step, man. Man, I love you guys, man. There it is. Communicate.
Now.
Because I think the last one is at Marina Village. Oh, that's in June. Okay, no worries. So March 11th is still going to be at the same place.
Brooks Center.
Brooks Center. There you go. All right, perfect. Man, guys, I love you. There it is. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for keeping up with us. Any questions or comments, etc., please put it in there, man. Charity starts at home. Start home, man. Start in here. You, brother, any last words?
Nah, I'm good. Love y'all. Thank you, Anna.